What is going on, boys? Welcome back to the Monday Morning Quarterbacks Podcast, episode 24, I believe. Let me double check that. Episode 24, week 2 of the NFL season. We're going to recap week 1 a little bit here, touch on some games, and then we'll hop into our week 2 picks. How we feeling after week 1, boys? We're back.
Who's got it better than us? Who's got it better than us? Chargers are so back.
Chargers are very back.
Chargers are back. J.K. Dobbins is back.
Yeah, 10 carries, 120, 130, and a tutty. McConkey got a tutty for you. QJ it looked a little bit more involved. He had the one drop, but
I think they had the same amount of targets, or McConkey had like one more. But yeah, but they are not looking to throw, and it looks like they're riding hot hand with the running back by committee. So we'll see. But good old J.K. Aaron Rodgers gave him a good shout out, saying he helped him a lot through rehab.
on the McAfee
Great
show.
guy.
Yeah,
Great guy.
that's cool. What about you, P? You hype about your Jags?
I am not. I mean,
It was a close game. Y'all had them.
I don't know why Travis is not Travis, because it's like Tank. Like, speaking of riding the hot hand, bro. Like, Tank was feasting, and then every time Travis got in the game, it was some BS.
That
Fumble on the
fumble.
1 yard line, 20-yard backward. It's 4th and 1, and Buddy's 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Like, where you going, bro? You had to go 1 yard forward. It's like, bruh. I don't know. I really think Travis like single-handedly sold this. If Travis Etienne listens to this, you lost us the game. So
That was a momentum shift there when he fumbled in the end zone.
That was
the whole game when he was in the game was just a momentum shift for the worst. We should definitely run Tank Bigsby every play and not see Travis next game. But
They had the same amount of carries. ETN had the pass work though, and ETN was definitely in more, but he was in on the pass downs.
Yeah.
So, Connor, what'd you think your Colts break down that game? Or it was a close game, 29-27.
Yeah. Obviously, none of us are happy. Jags lost, Packers lost, Colts lost. But I'm glad we're not the Titans. Will Levis.
The Chargers won.
But yeah, Colts. I mean, it's a tough loss. You know, Anthony. But we know we got our guy. We got a fan. 9 for 9. Oh, scary. But when you throw for like 220 yards or whatever,
Yeah,
His mic's still so.
I know. Yeah. We got about half that, but
he's got that Indianapolis Colts Wi-Fi. Forgive him.
No, that 60-yard pass from A-Rich, though, like off his back foot.
That was probably
was a
one of the
dot.
most ridiculous throws I've ever seen in my
That
life.
was a dot. Absolute
Just an
dot.
absolute.
crazy.
It's so crazy that he can make throws like that, and then he's just missing. He missed Adonai Mitchell for probably like 100+ yards worth of just
Two different
gimme throws.
just 60-yard TDs. Yeah. Two different 60-yard TDs. He had 80 just down the freaking sideline, missed. It's crazy.
Having like
Guy just
28 or
doesn't throw
29
slot.
fantasy points on 9 completions is like laughable.
Yeah.
How crazy that is. Like every pass he hit must have, I was just watching Red Zone, so I saw like bits and pieces and I saw the highlights, but I saw the missed throws for sure, and it's so weird because he hits some of the hard throws and then he struggles on just the gimmies, and it's very interesting. But hey, Texans squeaked one out. Diggs got 2 tutties. Welcome Stephon Diggs. Any other games you guys really want to touch on? We could go on. I mean, first game of the night was Chiefs Ravens was a good game. Packers
Yep.
Eagles I could touch on quick. I guess we did all our teams. I'm not as pissed at the defense as you probably would think with how bad they played, because I think that's kind of what our defense is going to be this year. Is we're going to give up a lot of big plays and we're going to have turnovers. And we're just going to hope that that we can capitalize on the turnovers, which we didn't in this game. And I'm just thankful that Jordan Love's not out for the season and our season's still on, because going to bed Friday night was not fun, thinking the Packers season was just over. But
True.
good
How
news.
long is he out for? Like,
He has a chance to play this week.
right?
Mm-mm.
He has a very
play.
minimal chance to play this week. Like probably like a 2% chance.
So he's not.
He'll probably be out like 2 to 3 weeks if I had to guess. They're not putting him on
Yeah.
IR.
What do
So,
your next 2 to 3 weeks look like? Can Malik Willis squeak out a win against any of
I think
No,
Colts
those?
and Vikings are our next two games, which are honestly
no.
both winnable with Malik at Q, but probably, I mean, we're gonna be dogs in both. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Both are probably gonna be hard to squeak out, but we're only 3 point. We're home against Indy, and we're 3 point dogs, so it'll be interesting. I think if Anthony Richardson can make some mistakes and Malik can, if we can win the turnover battle in that game, I think we'll find a chance to win. But we'll get into that. Any other games you guys want to touch on week one before we hop in the week 2 slate and start making some picks?
I loved what the head coach of the Titans had to say. If we punted the ball on 1st and 10 every possession, we may have won the game. I think that's a hilarious take at how bad the Tennessee offense truly is. So,
I legitimately think that's a true statement. If they would have done that, I think they win. Like, Will Levis sold that game so hard. I don't know. Yeah. Blocked punt was a killer. Simone Biles'
Yep.
husband got a touchdown.
oh yeah,
His name shall
Oh,
not
how
be
many,
named.
how many touchdowns were scored against the Packers there?
How many
Give you guys
touchdowns?
what- rushing touchdowns.
2.
three. Barkley had 3.
Well, Barkley caught one, though.
Oh, he caught one. Yeah.
I know he caught at least one. He might have caught more than one. I think he ran 2 in.
Is that the most in the league?
Rushing touchdowns? Josh Allen ran 2 in. I don't know
Yeah.
if
Josh Allen tied Steve Young for the most multi-rushing, multi-passing touchdown games in NFL history.
he might have the most touchdowns this season, honestly. Rushing. I think Josh Allen's going to be, anytime they get in the goal line, he's just pressing every button on the controller, hurdling people, spin move, like flying through the air to get touchdowns. This man has no care for the body, and he's just got a ginormous body that just cannot, I mean, he is injured right now, but I guess can't be injured enough to take him out of a game.
Jaden Daniels also was the 3rd player this week that had 2 rushing touchdowns.
And the Commanders ran one in on the ground, too, with Brian Robinson. So, there's your answer, Connor. Looking for a little hate on the Packers, looking for a little, for your notes section
That's your problem.
for this week, I guess.
Yeah, but he took notes and then comes in the pod asking questions like that.
The Patriots, though? Surprise of the week?
Surprise! Of the
Survivor
week?
Pool
Nah.
is dead week 1. Shout out.
Since he's Garbo, man. I mean,
Yeah, I
they
don't-
gotta. I don't know.
You did say that last week on the pod, P, about how you don't trust Burrow yet, and you like don't believe in them that much. But
yeah, I've
man.
been anti-Cincy since we picked divisions. And
they
I
go to
had
the Super Bowl
Cincy.
one time, and people think Joe Burrow's like this god, and we
Yeah.
really haven't seen him play that much, like with
Yeah.
his full offensive potential, which we still didn't have T this week. But I don't know if they're ever gonna have a week where T and Jamar both play, because
Yeah.
Jamar is the biggest diva ever, and it's like, it's frustrating to watch his. As someone who owns him on 3 of my 6 fantasy teams, it's so frustrating to watch him in the media just act like how he's acting, but he's so good when he does play. It's just like, why are you holding out when you're under contract for 2 more years? Literally, if you just don't hold out and you have a good year this year, you'll get paid more than all those guys did next year.
Yeah.
Just
But
If he
play.
gets hurt,
Yeah.
if he gets hurt, then what happens?
He still gets the
Yeah.
contract, honestly, unless he tears it. If he has an Achilles or an ACL end of the year, that's the only, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But still,
Well, like, that's the thing.
what, is
Why?
everyone going to start holding out with 2 years left on their contracts? What precedent
No,
does this
but
set? Where does it stop? Where's the line?
Where's the line?
When, I don't know, when you're a top 3 receiver in the NFL,
He gets thrown into that top 3 conversation, and I do agree talent-wise, he's probably in the top 5. But until he, like, plays a full season and, like, has a season such as, like, CD did last year, or Jay Jetta's the year before, or / Cooper Kupp when he hit his Triple Crown, until he has one of those seasons, then we can put you in there. I mean, he probably is talent-wise, but
Yeah.
it's like, prove it. Prove it on the field.
Yeah.
I also heard a stat that the Bengals are 0-2 in their first 2 games since 2020.
I mean, they were like 1-4 last year to start. They just always come out the gate pretty slow. I don't know why.
Speaking of not winning week one, haven't the Colts not won in week one since like 2008? I saw some graph on my Twitter. That was crazy.
Keeps on going. Keeps on going, yep.
What's their week two track record looking like?
We're fine week 2. Usually bounce
Okay.
back. I think we're like 11-5.
Interesting. Alrighty, boys. With that said, let's hop into an electric game tomorrow on Thursday night. It's probably gonna be one of the best Thursday night games we get all year. I feel like the Thursday night games usually lack, but we got a good one. We got Josh Allen and the Bills heading to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Dolphins are 2.5-point favorites, over under 48.5 in the game. Who wants to start us off?
Yep. Yeah, we got no Mozart in this game. That's already been announced. We know A-Chain is questionable, probably a game time decision there. Jeff Wilson took a lot of the work last week. They got that rookie feeling right who did the play as well. So Dolphins' rank has been on your throat with Mozart and then hit Otto and Tyreek. If you can't establish the run, Bills here plus money.
You said Bills, so I was wondering.
Okay, Bills. You taking Bills, Connor?
Bills.
Like we got about half that analysis, but hey, we got.
No, it's a solid analysis.
We got the Bills. We got the Bills out of it. That's all. That's what we needed.
My
to
brain
hear.
was able to connect the words that he was saying.
I heard Tyreek in there somewhere. I heard Jeff Wilson in there somewhere. I think
Yeah.
he was talking about Mostert being out.
Yeah.
But I think
No,
we'll
yeah.
just put it together. We'll
Yeah.
make it work.
He
We
said
gotta get a
he-
mic, but we gotta buy you a mic, Connor. I think that's the investment for the pod.
I can go next. I think it's gonna be a good game. I don't know how to pick it honestly because I really thought the Bills were about to sell last week, and Josh Allen, like one drive, I literally like ran the ball 5 times in a row. Like he just is like to the point where it's like if he wants to win, he's gonna make it happen. So like I think I'm leaning Bills, but their secondary is still like such a question mark to me, and they're about to like be playing two of the best, like one of the best duo wide receiving cores like there is. I think if Chain doesn't play, it definitely like swings me even more towards the Bills because Chain just added such a threat out of the backfield catching the ball last week. I am leaning Bills. I'm leaning over as well. But I think it's going to be. I do think it's going to be an electric game, as you said to start us off. So I'm going Bills.
I'm the opposite. And that typically always bites me in the ass, but I'm going Dolphins here without A-Chain, without Mostert. No matter. I think the Jags are a better team than the Cardinals, and the Bills almost lost to the Cardinals. So, and that secondary does not look great. And Tyreek and Jalen Waddle are a lot better than Greg Dortch and Marv. So
This is true.
I'm expecting a big game from Waddle, and I hope for an over as well for the sake of my parlays.
Nice.
So
We're gonna see a little touchdown Waddle.
I got that. That's one of them.
This
And
game.
Keon Coleman's first rookie touchdown. This week.
Oh, okay. I like that.
That's a pick. That's a
I
pick.
do like that a lot. This game is so interesting to me because I see the line of the over-under at 49, or 48.5 actually, and I just look at my house and I'm like, take a mortgage out on the house, put it on the over, quick double up, buy another house, free house.
2 houses.
That's what I
2
see.
free houses.
It
2
just
free houses.
doesn't seem right. It seems like a trap because I feel like there's going to be a lot of points in this game. I feel like this is one of those games you just take the over, you take 4 touchdown scorers, you throw it all together, and you win a quick 40-1, and you call it a day. And the 4 touchdown scorers that I took, a Chain, hopefully he plays. Tyreek, gimme. Josh Allen,
Lock.
and then Khalil Shakir. Spice it up a little bit. 2 weeks, 2 tutties for Khalil Shakir. I'm going to take the Bills. I'm a Josh Allen stand. Both these teams were down early last week. Both fought their way back and got big wins. In Miami, too, I think just screams points. If it was in, I mean, warm weather anyway, even if it was in Buffalo, but it's going to be probably 80, 90. I think it says the weather on here. 87. Nice hot day.
Did you see how the stadium's set up? How, like, Miami's bench is in the shade, so it's like 10 degrees cooler
It's smart.
than the Oppo, Oppo, where it's like in the sun.
It's not gonna matter at night though. But yes, I see what you're saying.
It's a night
At
game.
8:15 p.m. might
It's a
not
night
be a
game.
big of a game changer.
It is cool, though. I mean, yeah, they built that into the stadium when they designed it. That was the whole point, which is very smart. But I'll ride the Bills. Why not? Let's move into our first Sunday game, 1 o'clocker. We got the Saints at the Cowboys. Cowboys are 6.5-point favorites, over under 46.5.
I hate the boys, but I mean,
Are we
you
gonna
gotta
keep
take-
this? Are we keeping the same order? Or are we just free for all? And I don't mind the free for all. You got thoughts, Jeff? Say your thoughts.
I was just gonna go the Cowboys. I mean, they're the better team. I think
You
the
just
Panthers
going Cowboys.
are overvalued because they rolled the Panthers, but you know.
I think
going boys.
the line is interesting. The 6.5 line is interesting. It's hard to tell after 1 week, right? Overreactions. Like, all of our opinions are going to be that the Saints week 1 didn't really mean anything. I think they did show a lot though, like across the board, especially defense. I know the Panthers offense isn't crazy, but I do think they showed a lot of like their potential on the defensive side of the ball. I don't like Derek. I'm not crazy about Derek Carr. I'm gonna take the Cowboys, but again, the 6.5 might be too much for me. I might be right. I might be on Saints to cover, but I do think the Cowboys like win this game. But
Marshawn Lattimore is hurt too.
is he?
And that's one guy on the defense, but
Yeah,
pretty important guy.
no, for sure. I mean, no one's
Yeah, I'm
covering
with you.
CD anyway. So, what's
Yeah,
up?
everything you just said, I agree with. Take the Saints to cover, but Cowboys to win.
Cool. We're all on the boys. I'm on the boys as well. I liked what I saw out of the Saints offense, which I really did not expect. We were trashing Derek Carr, and the TikTok clip we put up of Hefe predicting Carolina to win that division, and then P was talking how they got some faith too. I quickly cut it off right to where I like was where my take was, because I joined in on the roast. Cut it right there. The people didn't need to see that, but I was also kind of on the Bryce Young hype train a little bit coming into this year, thinking he would have improved. And then I watched the first play of the game and instant just interception. So that wasn't the most fun thing to see, but I liked what the Saints did offensively. Their offense is a little bit different this year, where they're using a lot more motion. And even though Olave wasn't super involved, I think he had 2 catches. I look for him to be a lot more involved this week in a game where I think they'll be trailing. But give me the boys. Zeke's back in Dallas, and give him another tutty too.
Okay.
Moving on to our next game. For Jeff and Connor's second team. Well, Connor's second and third team, and Jeff's second team. We got the Buccaneers at the Lions.
I'm going to the game.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to the game, so
Lions
I'm gonna
are
have some money in it.
Ooh, Lions are 7.5-point favorites, over under 51.5.
Can I start us off? I'd like to start us off on this one.
Go.
7.5 is unspeakable. First of all, I'm going Bucks just so we know where this take is going. I don't understand how the Lions allowed Cooper Kupp to do what he did as the only receiver on the field. Like, no Puka in the second half, and Cooper goes off like the most receptions he's ever had in his career. They are about to play a Baker Mayfield who's fullback. I mean, if you don't think Baker Mayfield's going to be a top 10 quarterback this year, you're smoking crack. Then he's got the best receiving core in the NFL. In my personal opinion, I don't see a better duo. Like, I know we talked about Hill and Waddle earlier. I think Godwin and Evans are like that. The Lions tried to address these DBs with Carlton Davis, cool. A rookie who's 5'10", cool. They're going to get exposed again. It's the same. And also the Lions offense, I mean, everyone was so busy glazing these cats over the offseason. Bro, their offense was so slow. It's like it took till overtime to realize, wow, let's just run David Montgomery halfback dive 10 plays in a row. They should have done that the whole game. It wouldn't even been close. I think they're lost. I don't think their offensive scheme is locked. I think they're gonna not only not cover, I think they lose this outright at home in front of a Ford Field that is going to be energetic for sure. But give me the Bucks here.
Run through a mother effer face.
For real. It's not that difficult. But they spent the first 4 quarters not throwing to Amon-Ra and barely Goff didn't look like he knew how to make a read to save his life, bro. I was like, is this Bryce Young or Goff out here? For real.
They had to feed into the J-Mo hype train.
Yeah, J-Mo did look good though, for real. But
Looking like a 2.
Yeah, Jimmo looked great, and that's gonna. This one's tough for me. Hometown teams, but really this one, the Lions, +7 or -7.5.
you taking the spread too? You think they cover that? Okay.
They what they cover 8 last time they played the Bucks.
We're not talking last time, bro. You keep talking last. It's a new season.
It was like
It's the Lions' revenge tour right now. They Rams got a chance to get him back. Tampa gets a chance to get him back.
Also, playoffs is a completely different atmosphere than 1 p.m. for real. Week 2, 1 p.m. is not going to be the same Ford Field as let's go to the NFC Championship Ford Field.
wasn't he?
But Hefe's in the building.
Hefe will be
in
there.
the building.
Hefe counts for at least 5 fans.
Yeah, I'm going Lions here too. I don't know about the spread. I think it's the highest over under the week. Baker does look really good. I like rooting for Baker too. Last week when he scrambled, he got out of that sack and scrambled for that first down, he was like I was just like, he's so goofy. But I think this game's gonna be a shootout too. I like Godwin a lot this week. Cooper Kupp obviously 8 in the slot. Godwin I think is gonna eat in the slot. Mike Evans will probably get another touchdown. I think depending on how the Lions utilize the run game, and if they can just own the clock, they're gonna win this game. And again, in Ford Field, Lions fans are rowdy, so
They're ready this year.
give me the Lions.
We got a fun bet riding that we made last pod too with Gibbs versus Montgomery touchdowns for the season. We're even 1-1 through 1 week, and I think that's gonna be a fun sweat all season because I think they're just gonna go back and forth, depending on kind of who they play and what if it's gonna be a David Montgomery smash it down your mouth kind of game, or if it's gonna be a Jahmyr Gibbs catch some balls, throw the ball every play type of game, or even Gibbs was getting some tosses on the goal line, and it seems like they just kind of alternate drives, and once they're in for that drive. So I'm gonna be on Detroit as well. Tampa's tough though. I did not expect Tampa to come out and do what they did last week, and Mike Evans might be the most underrated receiver in the NFL. Nobody talks about how elite this guy is, and all he does is just 1,000-yard seasons, Mr. Consistent, goes up, gets the ball, makes plays. He is so good, and nobody talks about him. And he kind of just flies under the radar. And Godwin's similar in the same way, where Godwin catches so many balls, and he doesn't really get talked about as probably one of the top wide receiver 2s in the NFL. I just think Detroit's a better overall team. Over-under's crazy. I did not expect it to be this high. It kind of makes sense, I guess, looking at the 2 teams and what both the teams did last week. Looks like Detroit struggled defensively again, and especially going against much more. The Rams have a really good passing game with no Puka, though. I'd say more weapons on the Tampa offense. Should be interesting. Give me the Lions, and I think a really close game. Were you on Detroit too, Hefe? I think you were, right?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, cool. I'm just plugging it in as we go, so I don't have to. I'll watch it back anyway to get some clips, but it's just so I don't have to be focusing on that. Connor versus the Cranian brothers this week, and in a tale as old as time, we got the Colts coming to Lambeau. Colts are -3. Over under for the game is 40.5. You want to start off, Connor, or you want me to?
I guess.
Okay. Looks like Malik's gonna be our starter unless Jordan Love pulls off a miracle and ends up playing.
Didn't they say? Sorry to interrupt. Didn't they say that Clifford is still in the convo? Because I haven't heard that Malik got named starter yet.
LaFleur named Malik the starter.
Okay.
Yep.
Got my Packers inside source. Thanks for the update.
Yep. Malik would be the starter, which is kind of surprising me, honestly, with how long Clifford's been there, over a year as a rookie last year, and was the number 2 even all through preseason. And Malik's been here a week and a half, and we're just throwing this guy in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the Packers' key to winning this game is to just control the clock and feed Josh Jacobs, and then get Malik comfortable. Hopefully not have him throw. If Malik's going to have to throw 40 times, we're not going to win this game. Malik's going to find his magic on play action and when the Colts are stacking the box and hopefully hitting some one-on-ones. Maybe Watson one-on-one, a big play or something like that. And then defensively, the key to the game is takeaways. We got 3 big takeaways against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. If we can find a way to take the ball away from Anthony Richardson and keep them off the field, I think that's our key to the game. I mean, I'm never going to pick against the Packers in my entire life. It's just never going to happen. We could be 72-point underdogs. We're taking the Pack. And I'll take a money line even. But yeah, I'm going to take the Packers. Biasly, sure. Call what you want. But I think we have a very good chance to win this game.
Respect that. Well, last week when I came on, I said the Colts haven't won a season opener since 12 years old. We got a new streak. Yeah. The Packers haven't beat. I was 7 years old. Right? It was 2008 last time. Excuse me, the Packers have beat the Colts. So right now, Packers call us daddy. Right now, you're right in terms of the Colts secondary.
Well, when you play, no, let me interrupt. We can barely even hear you, but I heard. Okay, we haven't beat the Colts since sometime.
2008.
Whatever. We play you once every 4 years.
Do the math.
We don't play you too often. You're an AFC. But go on.
I was 7 years old. I was barely alive.
He was 7 years old.
All right. Anyways, keys to the game. You're absolutely right. The Colts last week. You would have told me Joe Mixon rushed for 105 yards or whatever he did. I would have said you did. So the Colts definitely have a weakness in front. It hasn't been a problem. So Josh Jacobs definitely carries last week. I think he'd be up close to 25 this week. I don't know if you guys will put the backup in behind him at all. But the Colts are going to try to make you guys beat us with you guys just acquired for a 7th round pick. That tells you how much Titans value him, especially behind Will Levis. I don't think Malik's that good, even though I'm pretty low on myself. One's going to get ugly. Colts minus 17.
Colts minus 17.5. I think we're going to have to make your picks shorter, Connor, because we can just legitimately hear less than half of what you're saying. And we'll figure out your mic, hopefully, for the next pod and get you going here. But minus 17.5 sounds a little crazy. What P Hefe? What do we got?
We can't hear P either now.
No, I'm locked in. I'm sorry. I'm gonna follow that up, Jake, but you're gonna be unhappy. I actually love the Colts minus 17.5. I think the Pack's defense is for real, right? But that can only last so long. I think Malik makes your offense way too one-dimensional, maybe even negative dimensional. Negative one-dimensional, is that a thing? He is not good. I mean, we've seen him start for Tennessee. We watched him play like 4 plays last week, and it's pretty much all I needed to see as well out of the guy. 2 plays, whatever. I like the Pack's defense for a little bit. But eventually, when it's 10-0, and Indy's starting to stretch the field, this could in my mind, legitimate shutout potential here. Like, I love the under 40.5, legitimate shutout potential. It's up to how many points you give up against Indy. I just don't see the Packs offense being I think Josh Jacobs is good. You guys got some talent. Jaden Reed can definitely stretch the field, open it up a little bit. But it's just too one dimensional. I think they're going to be able to stack up in there, and Malik is going to be a deer in headlights, and it's going to be not good to be a Packers fan on Sunday.
Yeah. Also, with him knowing the playbook for a week and a half is no bueno. I don't know. I think Jonathan Taylor's going to have a day, too. I mean, they're both it's like him, Saquon. They're both very good running backs.
Yeah, but this Pack's D can't be slept on. You can't sleep on it. I think the D is going to do their job for a little bit. I don't think John Taylor's walking in like Saquon did. The D's going to do their job, but I don't know how long.
Yeah, I mean, I want to root for Jake, but
Thanks.
Same.
Thanks, boys.
It's hard.
I gotta go Colts here. I don't want to do a beer month.
Fair enough. That's fair enough, boys. Yeah, it's really unknown with Malik. I think he's not up to knowledge, especially with the playbook, to be doing what J Love does at the line and checking plays. I think they're going to be running a very basic offense, and the pass plays we are going to be running are going to be he's going to have one read, two reads, and don't forget Malik's a dual threat quarterback.
Definitely.
Might see a little read option on the goal line. I could see Malik running one in.
But the thing is, you got to get down to the goal line. I don't see how the Packers honestly cross the 50-yard line with this guy at Q. I'm going to be honest.
Colts defense isn't this insane, impenetrable. I think we're going to be able to move the ball. I just don't know if we're going to be able to capitalize. I think we're going to struggle in the red zone, similar to how we did last week. But I think we're going to move the ball fine.
I don't know if you saw, Juju Brents is out. He's on IR. So
that does not matter. That dude is fucking irrelevant. Juju Brents, if you're listening to this, fucking retire. Yeah, there you go.
We're finding this guy's TikTok, and that's getting added. Your mic sounded amazing there, Connor. I don't know if you changed something.
Yeah, he came in clean for that one.
That was your best sentence by far.
Just to get it really spiked in his face.
All right, next game.
Brutal. All right, yeah, moving on. Moving on, boys. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets go to Tennessee. Jets are 3.5-point favorites, over under 40.5 in this game.
I'm going to start again. I don't know. Jeff's a big Vegas guy, all right? We were talking about smoking crack earlier. I don't know what these lines are. -3.5? I don't care if this game is played in Will Levis's backyard in front of his family. This is a 14-point game. Jets win this shit. I'm done. I'm not picking this game. -3.5 is disrespectful to what the Jets just did against San Fran. I know a lot of people are like, 2 scores. Bro, Jake Moody kicked 7 field goals. Cool. Move on. Jets played a good game overall.
I mean, yeah.
Taking the Jets.
It was just funny because I think with 7 minutes left in the third quarter, the only people who had catches on that team was Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall.
Lazard?
No, Alan Lazard had 2 tutties. Yeah, Lazard was the MVP of that team. Yeah, Lazard cooked.
Dropped his first ball. But...
Oh, second half. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fell asleep. I'm gonna be honest. That shit was boring as hell.
Yeah, like I said, my Super Bowl pick was Jets, Lions, so I'm going Jets here.
You went Jets too, P? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I went Jets too. I
Okay,
was disrespected by the -3.5 and just couldn't analyze any further.
Cool.
Jets.
Love it.
Kept it simple.
I'm on the Jets train too.
Jets.
I think big bounce back week. One of my favorite bets of the week is in this game. It's Garrett Wilson over 5.5 catches.
Will he need it? I'm gonna be honest. Is he gonna need it? And when it's 17-0 first quarter,
I think
game flow might be against you on that one. Straight up.
Yes, I do agree with that. But I think Rodgers is he thinks his relationship with Garrett Wilson is very important, and I think it's important for him to get on the same page with him. and he wants Garrett. I think I'm also taking Garrett Wilson like plus 180 to get a tutty.
Gotcha.
I think he'll get a tutty, especially after last week where they had their struggles, especially on that fourth down slant where there's a little miscommunication.
Those first couple of drives though, like they were third down 3 or 4 times, and like that Aaron to Garrett connection for a week 1 against San Fran was like dialed. Like it looked like it's gonna be a problem like as we progress through the season. So I don't hate the bets.
One thing about watching the Jets that just made me so happy was just how thankful I am that Nathaniel Hackett is not calling the plays for the Packers anymore. This guy is he's the least creative play caller, and it seems like Rodgers is calling the plays half the time, and when he's not, he's changing the play at the line. Like, literally, they start that game. Going all offseason, they have to prepare for this game. What do they come out and do? Breece Hall, pitch to the left. Get a yard. What's the second play? Breece Hall, pitch to the right. That's what we came up with all offseason. That's the creative mindset. Like, what are we? You have Rodgers' first game back, and that's what we come out with to like get us going, and we end up in a 3rd and 7, and we throw an incompletion, and we're punting.
Yeah.
What are we like? Nathaniel Hackett is. That's the one downfall of the Jets is letting Rodgers. As much as I love Rodgers, letting Rodgers dictate half that roster is. He's just playing with his friends at that point. Allen Lazard's catching 2 touchdowns in a year where he got, after last year without Aaron Rodgers, he got benched and was like wide receiver 5 on that team.
Yeah.
It's like Rodgers just like throws to his buddies and he's like, he just wants to hang out with people he likes and like have a good old time. And like, I don't know. That's one thing that I do not miss is the Nathaniel Hackett. But let's move on to our next game. We got San Fran at the Vikings. San Fran's -6, over under 46.5 in the game.
And Fran. No commentary needed. Sam Darnold revenge game.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, literally though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on San Fran as well.
Give it to me, P. Licking your chops over there, ready to go.
No, I'm on San Fran as well, and I don't hate the spread. I think 6 is a good line. I think it's going to be kind of close because San Fran loves to just not run away with games, from what I've seen. But
Let's see.
Sounds good. I'm also going to be on the San Fran train. Only thing I want to touch on quick on this game is I want the Niners to be fined by the NFL for Jordan Mason saying he knew since Friday that Christian McCaffrey wasn't going to play, and they held it out till Monday. And I want an official investigation done, and I want draft picks docked. That's what I want.
Draft picks docked.
It's ridiculous. We're just blatantly cheating the system. And then Jordan Mason's all butthurt in his second, like he said that on the field, and then his second presser, he's like, this is why I don't talk to the media. I was like, no, you don't talk to the media, buddy, because you've been a backup in the league and haven't been relevant for the last 4 years. That's why you don't talk to the media. You finally granted, give him his flowers for having a good game. Congrats. Go get Jordan Mason in your fantasy leagues because it looks like CMC is going to be very limited this year. And even when he does play, I think they're going to save CMC for playoffs. Because San Fran's just so good, they honestly don't even, like, as crazy as it is, and how good CMC is, they just showed that they did not need him against the Jets, who a lot of people were picking.
Week 1 Jets, though. Week 1
Very true, but a lot of people were picking the Jets to be very good this year.
And to play devil's advocate there, if you're Jordan Mason, like you said, you've been kind of behind the scenes your whole career, and they're trying to get him game ready. And so it's like, they have some, like what Shanahan said, some assistant coach probably told, start getting yourself mentally ready to like start this game. And in his head, he's like, okay, I'm starting the game. And like, even though it wasn't official, like he had to be mentally prepared to do so. And it just, after the win, the interview, it came out that way. But playing devil's advocate here.
Lawyer P. Let's move on to the next game, boys. We got the Seahawks at the Patriots. Seahawks are -3, over under 38.5. I think this is our lowest over under of the week. No, it's not. Never mind. Second lowest.
Yeah, I know that Pittsburgh does have to play football. I'm gonna pick this game. I'm gonna keep it nice, short, and sweet. Gino is washed, and the Patriots D is actually legit for some reason. I don't know why, but they are. And Ken Walker's banged up. DK's banged up. Patriots are gonna find a way to be 2-0, and that's what we're gonna be talking about next week.
Why you're in last place? Give me the Seahawks.
Just roasted. Just absolutely roasted. Yeah, I'm on board with Connor as well. This is why P went 8-8 last week in straight up picks.
Damn.
Even though we all picked the Bengals last week against New England. New England looked a lot better than we thought they would look, but we got Jacoby Brissett starting the season out 2-0. That just doesn't sound right in my mind. Give me Seattle. Little tag team from the Cousins on P there.
Jeff, I'm tagging you in, bud. Come on. Take New England. Let's go.
No, I can't.
Tell them about Mondre.
Yeah, he looked great, but I mean, week one overreactions. I think they're overvalued in this game too. I think Seattle covers.
My preseason pick was Gino was a one-hit wonder, and that's still my preseason pick. I think Gino's literally washed as fuck. That's my final analysis.
For like a 35-yard touchdown or something.
Wow, so you throw a 135-yard touchdown and all of a sudden you're not washed?
Are you doing that?
I didn't spend 10 years sitting behind bum quarterbacks, fighting my teammates, getting punched in the face by teammates, bouncing around the league. I didn't spend 10 years of my life waiting for a moment to throw a 35-yard tutty.
Speaking of bum quarterbacks, let's transition into our next game. We got the Giants at the Commanders. Commanders are -1.5, over under 43.5. Is Daniel Jones just going to get benched if he struggles again this week? I mean, are they really going to go to?
Drew Lock.
Okay, that's probably a better option.
They brought in Drew. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, interesting.
I'm going to continue to be the bottom of the barrel and start us off with a hot take. Commanders aren't there yet. Personally, Kingsbury. I like Kingsbury's philosophy, but I've yet to see it fucking work in the NFL. Like, I've yet to see it. And the Giants are literally the worst roster in football, but they win this football game. That's the prediction.
I'll hop in. We'll get my pick out of the way. I'm gonna go Washington. And I hate both these teams. I think they're both gonna be bottom 5 teams in the league. Jaden looked good on the ground, and he actually did he impressed me throwing the ball a lot last week, which is good, and I think the future is gonna be really bright for him. He's my favorite quarterback out of this draft class for sure. I just don't think he's got like the squad around him to like do a ton, but I think they're good enough to at least beat the Giants, who, I mean, what do they even do offensively? Like, what is their game plan to even do, like, throw it up to Malik and pray? Like, hope Devin Singletary
had a decent game.
Yeah, just hope Singletary like breaks off. They just like aren't. You just look at that offense and it's just it's almost like they go 3 and out and punt, and you're like, okay, that's fine. At least we didn't turn the ball over. Like, that's kind of how you're thinking.
Danny also goes through these spells too, though, which is why he's still the starting quarterback. Because like his whole career has been what the hell is this guy doing on an NFL roster performance, to like an upset win over Dallas type of vibe. Like, it's very hard to see what Danny we got coming out, but he's fighting for his life. You know, eventually that dog in Danny has to come out, or we're never going to talk about Danny Dimes ever again. Like, that's just where he's at in his career.
Speaking of scummy fans, like, I could never, like, did you see him walking out of the stadium last week?
Mm-mm.
Literally, like, in normal clothes, like, getting out of the stadium, walking to the bus, like, gated off area, surrounded by Giants fans, and they're, like, booing him right in his face, telling him he sucks, saying we wasted millions on you, go home, you bum. Like,
That game was in Minnesota too, right? So those are road
Yeah,
fans
road fans.
traveling. Yeah,
I don't
road
know.
fans.
It was like
Yeah.
Giants fans waiting outside where the Giants boarded the bus. It almost looked like
Crazy.
families. Like it might
Malik's
have
family
been.
is like, yo, you suck.
But just like scummy fans, man. Like no matter, I don't know. End of the day, like even if let's say Danny Dimes was a Packer and the Packers were just awful, like sure I probably would hate Danny Dimes and be like, get this guy out of here. But I'm not gonna be in his face
Yeah,
like this guy is crazy. It's just crazy.
yeah.
That's how it is, man. That's how the league is. Fans are crazy. So
What did
you
you
say,
say? Jeff?
Hefe?
Giants were home,
Okay,
They were home. Okay,
that makes sense
my bad.
then.
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm on the commies.
Yep, I'm on the commies too.
It's the NFL, man.
It is.
Yeah, honestly, it's any given week, and that's a pick 'em, even in Vegas. So
That is a
one
straight
and a,
up pick.
one and a half's nothing.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Vegas is saying Giants because home field normally gives 3. So Commanders at home -1.5 is telling me they're leaning Giants. Like if it was at a neutral site, it would be Giants in Vegas.
That's the pick I've probably been most unsure on that I've picked so far. I could see that one honestly going either way. I don't mind you being the lone wolf therapy. If I knew I was the lone wolf, I probably would have rode that. But I already have
Yeah.
my picks locked in coming in, and I'm not gonna change
Oh,
them.
right.
So
Right.
just out of fairness to me picking last most of these. Moving on to our next game, we got here you go, Hefe. The Chargers versus the Panthers. Chargers are -6 over under 39.5.
Who's got it better than us? Dude, I can like the culture of that locker room is just so different. Players look happy to play for Harbaugh. Everyone looks like it's just new energy in the air, and it's the Panthers, which week 1 overreaction, but you know.
I've been yapping so much, I just realized how over we are on time. We're not flying through these picks at all, so I'll keep my yap to a minimum.
Okay.
Chargers.
Yeah, same.
Chargers.
Carolina.
In the Carolina hat.
I mean, I wear it for a reason. It's the same thing I've been saying. It's the NFL. You look at Jeff over here talking about new Chargers, new team. Bro, Harbaugh's a year 1 coach. It's whatever.
I mean, he's
bro.
coached in the NFL before.
Year 1 with the squad.
And has
bro,
gone
just
to a
'cause-
Super Bowl.
Oh my God, bro. Yeah, dude. We're in 2024. That was 10 years ago.
He finds success wherever he goes.
The Panthers are at home, fighting for their life. I'm a big fight for your life here. Danny Dimes, Carolina, bro. They're gonna make this owner sell the team.
Season tickets,
Like they're actually gonna.
single game tickets are going for $1.20.
Yeah, they're gonna make him sell the team, bro. Like they're fighting for everything, bro.
Yeah.
They're hungry.
P's riding on alone on a lot of these picks. Next game we got the Browns at the Jags. Speaking of P, got his Jags at home -3 over under 41.5.
Yeah, if Deshaun Watson's starting quarterback, I'm never picking the Browns again. Give me the Jags at home.
Was he over under this game?
41.5.
Or the
Yeah.
spread, I mean. Sorry.
Sounds washed.
-3 Jags at home.
They're saying it's an even game.
Yeah. Disrespectful after what we just did in Miami. But
I don't know.
And after
I
what
kinda
Cleveland
like
just
the
got
Browns
done to
this
them by
year.
Dallas.
I kind of like the Browns this year.
I did too, and then I watched Deshaun Watson play football, and it's like any other quarterback in that team is competitive. This dude doesn't have heart. He doesn't have. You remember Jay Cutler standing on the sidelines of the playoff game? Those are the vibes I get at Deshaun. He's like, I got paid. I might be in jail. I don't know. I'm not here though. I'm not. He's just not there. His heart's not there. His presence isn't there. He plays football like he's thinking about getting a massage, like literally.
The defense, though.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
cool.
The defense
Dude.
wins them this game.
Wouldn't that mean he gets
Okay.
aroused playing football? And he'd be very into it?
I'm going Browns.
You're going Browns. Wow. Okay. I already chalked everyone in going Jacks there on the sheet, but we'll swap that one for Hefe real quick. I'm on.
Leave
I'm
the
on.
lone wolf on this one.
I'm on Jacksonville as well. I think Jacksonville actually looked pretty good last week. Brian Thomas Jr. and Trevor Lawrence seemed to be on the same page. That touchdown for his first touchdown ever in the NFL, like Trevor
Perfect
was
pass.
throwing that ball to a spot, and BTJ just got there and
Yeah.
that was a really nice play.
And
That boy
Jalen was
fast.
on BTJ. Jalen Ramsey was literally covering BTJ, which
That boy
shows you
fast.
he's crazy.
Yeah, he had a good game. Like, I think he had 4 catches, like 50 yards, and a tutty in the debut. We'll
He's gonna
take
be
it.
the one there.
He is the one. That's why Jalen was covering him.
He's the one there.
What do you got, Connor? Did you pick this game already?
Yep, I'm talking with everybody else here.
You're on the
For
Jags.
Jags.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet. Let's move on to our next game. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Ravens. Ravens are -9, over under 41.5. I think this is gonna be a lot of people's survivor pick of the week.
Yeah,
Maybe
Ravens.
here. We all on
Ravens
the
at
Ravens.
home. Ravens at
Yep.
home.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty clear-cut one. I do like Devontae's over receptions at 5.5 as well. In this one,
I hate Gardner Minshew. And Devontae cost me $450 last week.
yeah.
Pain.
So,
Bowers looked
Damn.
good in his debut. That's the bright spot, I guess. There.
safety blanket.
Let's move on. We got the Rams at the Cardinals. Basically another pick 'em here. Arizona's -1 at home, over under 48.5.
I like Arizona at home. Rams are banged up. Lineman getting put on IR. Puka on IR. Cardinals had a great performance against a Bills squad that a lot of people expect to be a deep playoff team. I think Cardinals are probably going to win this one.
Go Cards.
You got Jake.
I got the Rams. This was one of my hardest games to pick this week. This is the one I probably thought the most. I spent the most time thinking about. And the reason I'm going Rams is based on, I thought their defense actually looked really a lot better than I thought it would. And they got a lot of pressure on Stafford, which is something we talked about last week, us thinking they wouldn't have any pass rushers and they would struggle getting to the queue. It's the opposite. They got to the queue really well. And even with Puka out, I think Demarcus Robinson's going to step up and have a huge game. His lines haven't been dropped, and I've been like eagerly refreshing that game to see what his line's going to be at, because I think I'm going to be all over him on receiving. The other two guys there are interesting as well, Whittington, and then I don't know the third.
Tyler Johnson.
Okay. Yeah, they're all interesting about it. I think Demarcus Robinson will be the clear-cut 2 there, and I'm actually playing him in like 2 or 3 out of my 6 leagues this week, which might sound kind of crazy, but we're going to send it and see what happens. But give me the Rams on the road in a pick 'em.
Same. I think it's going to be a Kyron game. But McVay has been hyping up Whittington a lot. So,
Sometimes
see,
he
and-
does that though, and then Whittington won't even get a catch. That's what he
you
does.
know he can support two receiver ones, though.
Yeah,
So, Stafford loves to throw.
I like the
So,
tight end too.
Like, Kyler just brings a different energy than Goff will. You know, like even if there's pass rush, like there was pass rush last week. I mean, Greg Rousseau sacked him 3 times. You know, like even if the Rams pass rush is getting home, Kyler's still going to do what Kyler did last week, extend plays, and it's not going to be the same energy that Goff brought.
Yeah, Trey McBride. Trey McBride had sneaky 10 targets last week. I think he only got like 4 catches, and I think Marvin strictly off literally having 1 catch for 4 yards. Did you see what Kyler had to say about that?
Yeah, I did see the analysis about how the offensive coordinator picks the plays and he throws to who like the hot
He's like
target
it's
is
not
on
my.
those plays.
He's like it's not my job to pick who I throw to.
Yeah,
What are we? You're just picking who you're going to throw to before the play starts, and Marvin's not even an option. That's basically
it's-
what he said.
it's crazy. Decoy at number 3 overall or whatever.
Yeah, that was just. I think Kyler misspoke there, or
He
didn't
definitely did.
mean to say what he said, because that just made
Yeah.
0 sense. Like you're
It
just
did.
not. Oh, Marvin's streaking down the field wide open with no one within 20 yards of him. Yeah,
It's your job
It's
to get
not
him
not
the
my
rock.
job to throw
Yeah.
that. He's
Right.
like, what are we talking about? And there was a play where he had no one within 20 yards of him, and yeah, interesting. Let's move on. We got Pittsburgh at Denver. Pittsburgh's minus 2.5, over under 36.5. This was the lowest over under of the week.
Yeah. Give me Pitt.
Pittsburgh, man.
Yeah, give me
Pittsburgh, dude.
Pittsburgh.
I hate watching them play a football game.
Yeah, it's bad, but they're gonna run the ball, control the clock, and Bo's still not quite settled yet. Bo did have flashes, but I think that Pitt defense is crazy. So
TJ Watt's winning defensive player of the year if he plays every game.
Yeah, I like Pitt on the road.
I like Pitt too.
Pick Denver.
Speaking Denver. I wish we could hear that analysis.
I'm on board with Connor actually too. I'm gonna take Denver here too.
Taking Denver.
I think Bo Nix kind of got his first feel for the NFL, and he actually really struggled. Hopefully he'll be a little bit more settled in. Pittsburgh's defense is really good, but I have more faith in Bo Nix scoring and leading a win than I do Justin Fields. And Fields actually played really good last week to his standards. Like, he did what he needed to do to get that win. But you know what you're going to get in Fields, I feel like. And the only thing I care about for Pittsburgh right now is George Pickens scoring 7 touchdowns this season to cash a nice lay for me. But
I just think it's like so crazy how much money Atlanta spent on everything. And like they got held to 10 points and I just think that says to what kind of like Pittsburgh's going to be that team that runs the ball, controls the clock, plays sound defense, and they're going to win a lot of games just by playing football that way.
And I'll tell you what, Jalen Warren's not even on the field, which was very surprising to me week one. I wonder if that'll change because he seemed like almost a better back last week. So maybe he's limited, but interesting. Let's move on. Bengals at Chiefs. Chiefs are -5, over under 47.5.
Chiefs Kingdom. They win this game at home.
Cincinnati does play their best ball against the Chiefs.
Not this year.
It's too early in the season for them to play their best ball, so.
Chiefs.
I'm also on the Chiefs. I just think from what I saw out of the Bengals last week, they just did not look like they were ready to play football. They just did not look like on the same page, and it looks like all that off-season issues they've had came to fruition with T. Higgins not playing last minute and then Jamar like on the field half the plays. That was just not it. Jamar's got to be out there even if he's not getting the ball, just to take away from some of the other guys and help open things up. But give me Casey. I think that's should be a pretty easy pick 'em with Kansas City at home too, but who knows? Since he has had the Chiefs number. Let's move over to Sunday Night Football. Caleb Williams gets his first primetime start. Bears at the Texans. Houston's -6, over under 45.5.
I gotta use the bathroom, but Texans.
Yeah, I'm also Texans by 1 million. They're not gonna do what Will Levis did last week.
Yeah, I'll take the Texans as well.
I'm on the Texans as well, and I'm not a big over-under guy, but I do like the over in this game. And it looks like Adunze's decently hurt, like could be out a couple weeks potentially. I don't think they've even ruled him out yet this week. But if he's out, Keenan's questionable as well. If both those guys are out, DJ Moore might feast in a game that I think will be more high-scoring than we think. 45.5 is low for any time the Texans take the field because it seems like they'll just put up points with anyone. And then if Keenan does play, I love Keenan. Dude got 10 targets last week and seems to be like the go-to like safety net for Caleb Williams. And Caleb actually missed him on a tutty too and missed him on another 30-40 yard throw. Caleb did not impress to the standard a lot of people thought he was gonna, and he was not making some of the throws he was making in the preseason. Could be nerves. Didn't even throw for 100 yards. Definitely not the opener you want to see out of your franchise #1 overall pick, but I think he'll look a little bit better this week and hopefully be able to find, like, not even hopefully because I hate it. Obviously, as a Packers fan, I hate the Bears, but I'm thinking more like fantasy and betting wise, and I always love betting on Keenan Allen. I feel like he's just so he's like Chris Godwin a lot in my mind. He just gets so many catches and he's so underrated. He's a fun guy to bet on for me. Let's move on to our last game of the week, Monday Night Football. This will be a fun one to watch too. NFC East battle. Is that right? No, Eagles
No,
aren't
South
in the
and
East.
East.
Yeah, South and
South
East.
and East. Yeah.
Falcons at the Eagles. Eagles are -6.5. Over under 47.5. I'll cook us. I'll cook us off. What do you
Okay.
think? You guys good with that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Philly at home. Um, and I'm so interested to see. This is one of the games that I'm happy it's on prime time because I would have been watching a lot of this game anyway. More so just out of the curiosity of what's going on with Kirk Cousins and that offense, and seeing
Yeah.
if because Kirk really looked not good week 1, and looked like
Yeah.
he wasn't fully back healthy. What he just wasn't moving in the pocket like well. It looked like he just didn't look like he was football ready. And I'm curious if it was more so because of the defense they were playing against, or if he's just not on that page with his guys yet. Drake London didn't do anything. Pitts caught a tutty, which I guess on the bright side, like cool.
Yeah.
For all the
Uncovered.
for all
broken
the
play.
Pitts owners, but
Yeah.
I think Philly's just the much better team at this point in the season, and I think Atlanta can get there by the end of the year, but right now they're just not there. So give me Philly at home.
I like Philly as
Like that.
well. Yeah. I think they definitely have flaws as we saw in the Packers game, and like they got to protect the ball a little bit more than they did against the Pack. But yeah, I think Philly wins this one at home and probably covers the tutty, honestly.
Philly, Atlanta. Who you got, Hefe?
I hope this game's a shootout.
It's
but yeah,
Atlanta
Kirk
at
Cousins-
Philly. Misspoke there.
Whatever. I hope this game's a shootout. But yeah, Kirk Cousins did look really bad this past week. But yeah, I'm going Eagles here. La
Little
la
Phil,
Eagle.
little Philly sweep there. It's tough to do after they just beat us last week, but
Yeah.
it was a good. Honestly, I thought it was a really good game, and I think it highlighted some much needed areas of improvement for the Pack. Sometimes games like that will end up helping you, and I'm happy we got that game out of the way week 1. Anything else you guys want to touch on? Any bets you really like this week? Any teams you really like? Certain guys you're targeting, whether like fantasy, waiver wire? Just kind of, we'll go a little off topic here, and y'all can talk about anything you want for the week quick before we wrap up.
Mike
I'll keep
Evans,
it short.
anytime touchdown.
Anthony Richardson still, every single game he's played in, has scored a rushing touchdown. Somehow it's plus 130 last week. If you can get that anything better than minus 120, you got to take it.
I like that, honestly. As a Packer, Hurts did not get one last week, but Saquon got 3, and it didn't really look like Hurts was like, other than when they were doing the tush pushes, like he didn't run.
Which they fumbled the
As
snap
much.
on to literally end the game. They fumbled it, and then they were forced to kick a field goal.
Mhm.
So it didn't look great. I don't have anything
What's,
really.
Hey, what's Dobbins over under this week? You know?
I don't know if it's out yet, but I do like Demarcus Robinson. I touched on him a little bit earlier. I think Garrett Wilson's over 5.5 receptions is free. I think Devonta Adams over 5.5 receptions is free. I like Josh Allen touchdown tomorrow night.
Godwin's receptions too.
Godwin's receptions, what's he at? 5.5. I feel like that's kind of the
Probably.
standard line for those guys that catch a lot of balls. Except I think Cooper
Looking.
Kupp's at like 8.5 or 7.5. Oh, Zay Flowers over 4.5 seems free for how many quick screens he gets. Like he got 3 or 4 of those just quick insta throws against the Chiefs.
Mike Evans is plus 110 to score this week.
It's interesting.
Gibbs is minus 185 and Demon's minus 170.
Here's a little freaky 5-leg touchdown parlay I made. $2.50 to win $700. 5 legs. A chain tutty, which that'll be voided if he doesn't play, obviously. Pickens tutty. Tank Dell tutty. Garrett Wilson tutty. And then Quentin Johnston tutty. Definitely some weird ones in there, but all guys I think are very capable of scoring. Especially,
That
I like
pay.
Tank Dell a lot.
What does that pay?
$2.50 to win 7 hundo.
Damn.
Yeah. You see,
Have a 7 like or $1 to win 225.
dang. Yeah, that one QJ is like plus 380. I think Tank Dell was like plus 200. There were some longer shot ones in there, which cranked it up. And I think DraftKings touchdown odds are really good. So
Oh yeah, I don't have DraftKings.
I'm banned on FanDuel. Hefe's banned on DraftKings. When worlds collide. Same person, different font. Anything else you boys want to hit before we get out of here? Sweet.
Good.
I'm good.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, boys. Make sure to sub. Make sure to follow TikTok if you want to follow on there. New pod every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. We'll be going live on the YouTube. So turn that little notification bell on and get ready for the weekly pods here with the boys. We'll have Josh send in his picks. He was not able to make it this week, but we'll get all those updated, and we'll keep doing our little pick race for the beer mile too. But love you boys. Thanks for watching, and we will be seeing you guys next week.